I disagree. We've known this crap for years, and so does the good guys. This crap we see is not for anyone who is already awake. It's simply to wake. Okay. So this is to the video where I said, we're not getting out of this. That video has gotten a lot of views, and some people, and I can't respond to all of the comments, but a lot of people are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say there's some death coming for everyone. I mean, well, everybody dies, right? I mean, at some point. But I'm just saying there's that portion of us that do believe in God. We don't really care that. We just want it over. That's really my biggest point. Because do I believe there's some people in good places that are trying to help? Yes, I do. I do. Otherwise, I think we would be in a much worse scenario. Obviously, the very fact that Trump came into office saved us, because anybody who's awake knows what would have happened if you've looked into it. You know what the plan was with if Hillary would have gotten in. So, that said, I'm not trying to, that video is being taken in some ways like negative. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean it more that that we just want it to be over. That's it. I don't care what the reasons are. First of all, you're never going to wake everybody up. You're not. There is a certain portion of people in society that are not wicked, but they have a happy little life in their happy little world, and they don't want to wake up. They want to stay in the lie. And no matter what you do. And God talked about those people. God did. That's why God said, do not love the things in the world and do not attach to this world. Because it's temporary, and if you get too attached to it, you won't want to see the truth. So there's those portion of people that you're never, so I've heard this a long time, that all of this is playing out to wake people up. Yeah, I just don't think that's entirely true. What I think is that, yes, maybe some of that is true, but I think more that it's the higher court here that we're appealing to. The higher court being God. Yeah, God's above the Supreme Court. He's the higher court we have to go to. And he may not answer some people right away, because if you've gotten too far away from him for too long, he may make you sweat it a little bit to make sure you're serious. Like some people like to do those foxhole prayers. And yeah, that's why God doesn't respond to foxhole prayers. But that's who we're appealing to intervene, because it's so big. And that was my point to that video, is that it's so big. We just want it over. We don't care what the outcome is. Regardless, we know the outcome is God wins. But when God will intervene for that win, well, I think that's contingent upon us, the people, because that's where we have to look to, is to him. That's how this all plays out. It's on God's timing, but God is looking to us to see, have we learned our lesson, one, because we've gotten so off track we've become so complacent, thinking that nobody would ever think about taking our freedoms. And yet look at, like, nobody wanted to think about history, especially you're higher educated. It's like, how many times in history have there been genocides? Those are evil people that do that stuff. And even good people that get pulled into it because they're coerced or swayed into doing the most atrocious things. So it's what I was saying in that video is not me being negative. It's me saying that we just want it over. It's not me giving up. If I was giving up, I wouldn't still be making videos. I wouldn't still be speaking up. But all of this, even if, do I believe there's good people that are trying to help that we don't see? Yeah, I believe that for sure. I do believe that, as I said earlier. But this is between us and God, and God intervening. And so, when you stray from God, every time God disciplines, okay, it's because he loves you. So his disciplines seem harsh to people at times, but when you really look at it, it's necessary, because as a country, we've gotten way off track from really being good people. We all have. We've all, because this system has helped take us into this selfish place. And that's why now we have this, pride is everything. What I want, me, 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 me. It's about me, nobody else. You better respect it. All this stuff, our country was not used to be so selfish like that. We used to be a selfless country. So I think much of what is going on is a discipline taking place, a correction from the higher court. And I don't mean of man, the higher court of God. It's God's law that ultimately is what God cares about. So, and that's contingent upon us looking to him. So he wins no matter what, but the timing will be contingent on us and him. So it's unfortunate people are taking that video to mean something negative. I think it was more saying, no, I just put all faith in God. I'm not waiting for somebody to come in and save the day. That would be great. I mean, yes, God uses people in this world to do his will. He does. But there's also things that God just does himself. So that's where I put all of my faith in at the end of the day, is God. And I think that's who will decide this outcome.